Hi friends, today we are going to discuss an important theory of political science and international relation, the realism. Basically, classical realism and neo-realism. What are these theory? What's their development and what are similarity and differences between them? Actually, what is realism? Realism is the theory based on idea that states are unitary rational actor in international politics that are motivated by the desire of military power, security rather than ideals or morality. It says that realism one of the theory, and we know theory is a view to theory is a certain view to look upon the things or event. And while discussing about international politics, realism is that theory which focused on the main role of the state in international relation, and their power is in the center of this idea. State is unitary actor and decisions taken by the state are taken on the basis of rationality. What realism said that while decision making, every state won't consider the national interest. They don't think about morality. They don't think about principle, just they think what will be benefited. And in international system, state is unitary actor because there is no any global government, no the boss of the state. All states are sovereign. That the main theme of realism is emphasis on military power and focus on real politics. Characteristic of realism. As we defined earlier, states are the main actor in international system. International system is anarchic because there is no boss of the state. There is no international government to dictate the state. Every state are sovereign and there is no international rules. Yeah, there is international law, but international law is not like the domestic law because international law is based on morality. Some scholars said that international law is a vanishing point of jurisprudence, Holland said, because international law is not true law and there is the system of anarchy in international relation. No higher authority to dictate state. Fittest state will survive in the competitive world. Like Darwin say, survival of the fittest in the living being. Same apply in the state in this international competition. We know today around 200 states are exist and 193 are the member of United Nations. But this number is not fixed. Many states will collapse. We just see the Sikkim. There was independent state 50 years ago. There was independent state of Sikkim, but now that state is no more. And there was Soviet Union and it divided and new state emerged. That is why birth and death of the state is natural in the international system. And which state will survive? Only the fittest will survive in this competition. Survival of the most brutal state. This is another important perspective of the realism, which civilized, moral state, which democratic state won't survive because brutal state will swallow that state and only brutal state which annex other, which is powerful, which have a great military force will survive. State would take decision based on rationality. State won't take the decision in morality. There is no moral value because state examine various options and which option is best will be decided while taking the decision making process, and state should maximize its military power for its security. To survive, the military power is the oxygen for the state. Like we know, every second we breathe oxygen, but no one feel about that. But if you cut off the oxygen for single a minute, then you will realize the importance of oxygen in our human body. Like the way in normal situation, many person thinks that expending money in security in military is waste, unproductive. But if the foreign country invade your country, at that time only the military power is the oxygen for your survival. These are the characteristics of realism. And how this realism theory came out? Actually, realism theory is respond to the idealism. It is answer to the idealism. It is criticism to the idealism. And what is idealism then? Idealism is the theory of international relation which says states should not fight, they should cooperate, because this theory is based on the optimist image of the human nature. Human is social animal. They don't fight each other. Originally, they don't want to have bloodshed. They want to be live in society. That's why state also should not fight another state. They should cooperate to maximize the human value. And this idea born after the devastating First World War. Many eminent thinker, great mind saw the devastation of the First World War. Millions of death, millions of casualty, mass destruction. Obliged to think those thinkers that if state fight in this way, human civilization will be collapsed. So idealism is the theory which suggests state in a work in a rational way. State should not fight, because if they fight, human civilization will be collapsed. So they should cooperate, they should maximize the human value. But there is a great setback in this optimistic belief. There are basically three things happened after First World War. First is economic depression in 1929. Almost capitalist economy got depression and nearly collapsed. And at the First World War, they made League of Nations, but it didn't function well and it failed. And Second World War triggered in 1939. Then it is realized that idealism is good for academic discourse. It is good to think, but it cannot describe the international system in proper way. It failed to describe the reality. That's why this goggle is not worthy to see the reality, and realism took place. E.H. Carr, he wrote the book 20 Years Crisis in 1939. In his book, he criticized the liberalism idea as a utopian. Do you know utopian? Utopian means making castle in air. That is not possible. That is not really happen in reality. That is only dream. The liberalism is only dream. It cannot interpret the global phenomena exactly, because it is only based on imagination. That said E.H. Carr in his book. And main theorist of the realism is Hans J. Morgenthau. He wrote Politics Among Nations. In his book, he described human nature and nature of the state are the same. Human nature is brutal. Humans want to have more money, more power. They don't trust each other. Likewise, state also behave like same. They don't trust each other. That's why they want more security. For the security, they want to make weaker their competitor. The main focus of the state is maximize its power. And he suggests three patterns of the use of power by state. State keeps power, it increases power, and it demonstrates power. That is the state. But actually, Hans J. Morgenthau, E.H. Carr, and other writers bring the idea of realism in lifeline after around Second World War. But these ideas are rooted with the birth of the state in ancient Greek world. There was Sparta and Athens and many Greek city-state. From that period, this idea was anyhow forming in its root. Let's see, Thucydides is one of the greatest thinker. He explained the war between Sparta and Athens, the Peloponnesian War, which was before Christ 431 to 404, fought in that period. And he described international politics is driven by endless struggle of power, no place for justice, law and society. Another eminent writer is Niccolo Machiavelli. He wrote The Prince. In that book, he gave many ideas of statecraft. He said a prince should be like a fox to recognize the trap. He should be like a lion to frighten the enemy. His idea is politics rooted in a cynical view of human motives and possibility and devoted to the advancing the interest of the state without regard for moral or religious strictures. For a prince, for a state, for a ruler, there is no other moral principle than the empowering the state. For a ruler, making the state powerful is only the religious value. Beside that, there is no religion for a prince. Another thinker is Thomas Hobbes. He wrote many books and most famous is Leviathan. This Leviathan is sea monster. Can you imagine what he described in that sea monster book? He said, human beings have lost of power. They are brutal. And the condition in the old politics are the same as in human life. Like a person wants to be powerful, state also always want to be powerful. There is always thirst of power. There is no limitation. From this, it will be enough. No, that won't work. Always maximizing the power. No limitation. That's the nature of the state. That is the reality. And these are the classical realism. And as the classical realism is more focused on power, they disvalue the ethics, morality. Other new theories emerge which criticize the realist theory. And by defending the core idea of realism, neorealism emerged. What is neorealism? Neorealism explains the international events in terms of international distribution of power. State is a component of international structure. That's why neorealism is also called structural realism. For classical realism, state is the main component of the study, main factor. But for neorealism, international system, international structure is main and state is one of the player in that structure, one of the component of the structure. Focus on the great power as the main players of international politics. Their activities determine the most important outcome of the international politics. What classical realism said, every state are sovereign, every state can take their own decision. But neorealism said that no every state, but powerful state play the game and other state are dragged in that scenario. Weak state makes the game, other state should follow. That the neorealism said. For international relation, America, China, France, Russia have different role. They are planner, they are game maker, and small country which are poor, powerless, depend on their foreign aid cannot create special event. Only they are observer of international system. That is neorealism. And neorealism defend the realist theory that realist theory always said power is main thing, but neorealism said security. Actually, inside the security, it is always power, but security can be more justified. That's why it's called neorealism. The founder of these theories are Kenneth Walsh. He wrote a book Theory of International Politics in 1979. In his book, he said, structure of international politics, not human nature, made state act the way they do. Not the leader of the state that does not do anything, but international system drag the individual nation in a certain way. Powerful state create the environment. Also, they are also not independent. America also can't do anything. USA also can't do anything whatever they want. China also can't do anything whatever they want because there is international system. And what about the poor small country of Asia, Africa? They don't have any power. Just they expect grant from these big guns. And state wants to maximize the security. That is why the theory of Kenneth Walsh was also known as defensive realism because it focused on security of the state. In other words, John Mearsheimer, in his book Tragedy of the Great Power Politics, he said, much power than the other is safe for state to survive in the anarchical world. As much power, as much safe. But what is the absolute power limit? There is no limitation. That is why best outcome is to be a hegemon, and due to that attitude, the inter-state war take place. Every state want to maximize the power to be secure, more secure, and those power in one place will collide each other. America, even he is the supreme power, he still tried to maximize his power. China is rising power, he also still tried to maximize its power, and in a certain point they will meet each other. There will be clash. That is why the theory of the zone is known as offensive realism. Actually, what are the similarities and differences between these, the classical realism and neo-realism, as they share the common term realism? Classical realism and neo-realism both describe the pragmatic view of the reality, no ideal, and they focus anyhow the survival of the state. Anyhow, if state can survive with moral act, it's okay. But if identity is endangered, then state should not hesitate to act immorally as well. That's what both classical and neo-realism said. States are rational actor, not moral agent. They take decision, not emotional. They always choose carefully which is most benefit option while taking the decision. And anarchical international system both said there is no international government, no international law which is binding for the state. International law is also one moral guidance. State can follow or it cannot be followed. Its take depends on state, individual state. State would self-help for survival. No protection from the universal government. That's why every state should help themselves for survival. If they fail, they will be collapsed. Because throughout the history, we said many empires collapsed and new nation emerged. And what are the differences between the classical and neo-realism is? Classical realism focus in power maximization. Focus on power. Classical said power. While neo-realism focus on security. Behind the security there is always power, but security can be rationalized. That's why neoliberalism focus on security. That's the fact. And nature of the individual leaders and state are the component of the study of classical realism, while structure of the international system is the component of study of neo-realism. Classical realism study more focus on state, their leaders, but neo-realism study is only part of international system. In formality, every state are sovereign, but they can't act by their own because there is international system. There is balance of power. That's why any state, no state can go unilaterally. Even superpower America, it won't act unilaterally. China also can't do like that. India also can't do whatever she want to do. That's why the international system is the main component of the study of neo-realism, and the state is only the actor, one component of international structure. That the differences between classical realism and neo-realism. Okay friends, thank you for watching my video. We will come up with next video. Till then, watch our YouTube channel and don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Thank you very much.